Sunday again. This is day number 5, or thing number 5. It's a glorious day out there, nice blue skies, lots of power generating. We have solar panels. And today I'm going to talk about films, or actually YouTube. So before we do that, actually the good lady wife and I have just come back from watching Wonder Woman. And this is everything that Batman and Superman should have been, in the same way that Rogue One was everything that the previous Star Wars had been. So yeah, today's little episode, according to my sprawled out little notes, what I watch, even though I haven't been drinking, and some links. So what I thought I'd do today is not talk about me as a Brit particularly, but talk about what we did after we cut the cord. And yes, I have a British t-shirt on, which I'm going to kind of garrot myself with, and underneath it says England. This is quite a large one, but you know, what the hell. So we decided to cut the cord. When we did a cost analysis of what we actually watched, it basically made its own decision. We decided that we could afford to watch a couple of things on Amazon Prime and subscribe to Hulu and YouTube or YouTube Red even, or all that kind of idea, and do away with all this. So we cut the cord, and then we started to stream things from the internet, and that's where all of that started. So there are a few, yes I know, back end of an envelope, that I've written down. So the first one I've got written down is Doug DeMauro. He is a internet car reviewer, and being a guy, I'm into cars, so sorry, quite a few of these are going to be cars. And this was actually the first channel that I subscribed to. I watched some of his stuff and then thought, you know what, he puts out some good stuff, he puts some effort into it, it's quite amusing. And from his and some of the suggestions comes one called Hoovie's Garage. Now this guy sounds like he was a second-hand car dealer. He's moved on from that, I suspect. One of his videos shows him having something to do with like a Ted hot dog type thing or some such. And then from the suggestions comes Tavares, the Real Tavares as he calls himself. A gentleman down in Florida, I believe. And actually there's a link between him and the first guy, Doug DeMauro. I believe that Tavares has bought an Aston Martin from Doug DeMauro. I vaguely remember him talking about it, which was quite interesting. So he does some stuff, and one of his taglines is "Make sure you wrench every day," or some such idea. It's very interesting to watch. And then we'll go slightly left, as in change direction. Jeff Dunham. He's another one that we have watched quite a lot. One of my old bosses actually showed a YouTube film of Jeff. Walter, fantastic character. So he's a ventriloquist, and one of his other characters is Ahmed the Dead Terrorist, and that's a take on Osama bin Laden and his mob. Take from it what you want, watch the film, don't worry about my position. And then to sort of come back right again, we move out a little bit, and although I don't necessarily subscribe to these are some of the stuff that we watch on a regular basis. So the first channel is the SciShow channel. Science-based shows, and they show you various things, and to follow in that lines is one of these things, a bit like Mythbusters. You kind of wonder where they find these things out from, or where they do, is the Today I Found Out show. There's at least 2 presenters on this, one of whom is British. The main guy, Simon Whistler, I think his name is, and it's very interesting to watch. You watch some of this stuff. She was Marie Curie's affair, and how she caused scandal at the time. Very interesting, and a different side on a very well-respected, scientifically brilliant character. We watched quite a lot of theirs. And then really the last one, and in some respects kind of the driving force behind this, is another Brit. Guy from up north, Grimsby, Lawrence Brown, I think his name is, and the channel is Lost in the Pond. And it's very much like this. In fact, the other way round, this is very much like that. It's a guy in front of a camera talking about things. So I'll go into the last two things and I'll go back to the cars. Come full circle. Go back to the cars. So I am a car guy and I do like watching the shows, and I like the shows because they show you the cars that, let's be honest, most of us are never going to own. So I go back to Top Gear. Fantastic show when it had the Clarkson and Hammonds and Mays of this world, and it was very unfortunate the way it ended. So I watched that, and I watched the replacement to it. That's also pretty decent. And then the last one I'm going to mention here is the Grand Tour, the replacement. It's also a very good show. It started out fairly good and kind of slid a little bit, but at the time it was everything that it should have been that Top Gear wasn't. Now the second season of Top Gear they kind of made better, and it's getting there, but it's still flourishing, it's still trying to find its own identity, and they've removed a lot of what was Top Gear from both its first reboot season and the previous hosts, so it'll get there in time. So this will probably pan out a bit larger than it was, and with that I think I'm going to sign off. So have a good day now. Toodles.